All right, welcome back, everyone. We are starting the assessment preparations for 2A, and then we'll get into the rest of them for Chapter 2 a little bit later. Let's go ahead. This is going to be our chapter on dimensional analysis, unit conversion, those types of things. So the first thing we need to look at here is what it is that the units are telling us, that they are a rate of change of some kind. So we read the rate of change that's in the sentence, and that's going to tell us our units of measure for the given quantity. So we would expect the speed that's found by dividing meters, distance measured in meters by time measured in seconds, to be a quantity of meters per second. So so expect this to be meters per second. Price of gravel found by dividing its total dollars by its total weight in tons, dollars per ton. So what we'd expect. Gas mileage is kilometers per gallon. It's the unit we would expect, right? So because we have kilometers and gallons. So with this one, we were actually given some numbers, and we would be able to find what that gas mileage was if we wanted to. Amount of electricity used by calculating the power in kilowatts, kilowatt hours, because there's multiplication, multiplying kilowatts times hours, kilowatt hours. Price of pudding found by dividing its cost in dollars by its weight in ounces, dollars per ounce. Density of a meteor found by dividing its mass in kilograms by its volume in cubic meters. So that would be its density. Paint mixture contains 16 gallons of base paint for every gallon of color. So that means that there's 17 gallons total. $16 gallons of base, 1 gallon of color, 17 gallons total. And 340 gallons of paint. How many gallons of color are there? Well, we need to see how many of these groups of 17 gallons there are. There's 20 of these mixtures, right? 20 times, and they want gallons of color, so there's 1 gallon of color in each of those mixtures there. It's going to be 20 gallons of color. Get 33 miles per gallon of gasoline. Drive an average speed of 44 miles per hour. 33 miles per gallon. No, this is upside down. With 1 gallon, 33 miles. I drive 44 miles per 1 hour. I have to line these conversion factors up so that the miles cancel out and leave me with gallons per hour, because it says how much gas, which is going to be gallons, do you use in an hour. So that's per unit of time, per hour. So I want gallons per hour. This is 11 is going to go in there 3 times, 11 is going to go in there 4 times. We're going to round to 2 decimal places. This is going to be 1.33 gallons of gas per hour. Suppose that water flows from a shower at a rate of 3,200 cubic feet per minute. Do you use more water taking a 12-minute shower or by filling the bathtub with 4/10 of a cubic yard of water? Well, let's take these cubic feet, 0.32 cubic feet per minute times 12 minutes. Okay. That's going to give me 12 times 0.32. It's going to give me 3.84 cubic feet of water. Now, a cubic yard, you can look up the conversion factor, but because a yard is 3 feet, 1 cubic yard is 3 feet times 3 feet times 3 feet is going to be 27 cubic feet is what a cubic yard is. Each, that's a yard times a yard times a yard. So 1 cubic yard is going to be 3 feet times 3 feet times 3 feet is going to be 3 times 3 times 3 is 27 feet times feet times feet is cubic feet. So I'm going to use that conversion factor here to say that we want to take 4/10 of a cubic yard times 27 cubic feet over 1 cubic yard. So this is going to be 27 times 4/10 is going to give me 10.8 cubic feet. And we use less water taking a shower. By how much? Well, we use 10.8 minus 3.84. We use less water. We use 6.96 cubic feet less water taking a shower. Okay, so acre is equal to, and then they give us the unit of conversion there. There's 50 to 80 feet in a mile. Farm is rectangular. 9/10 of a mile by 1.5 miles. Let's figure out how many square miles that is. It's going to be 9/10 times 1.5 is going to be 1.35 square miles. 1.35 square miles times, and then it says that there's 1 mile is 5280 feet, but I need that squared because I need square miles to go to square feet, and then times, and then there's 43,560 square feet down here is 1 acre. So when I do this in my calculator, this is going to be times 5280 squared divided by 43,560 is 864 acres. You have answers provided at the end for all these, but this is just the work. Convert a distance of 48 feet to yards. So 48 feet, 1 yard. It's going to be 3 feet. Feet cancel, 3 goes into 48 16 times. Convert a weight of 12 pounds. LBS is pounds to ounces. There are 16 ounces per pound. Pounds will cancel. 12 times 16 is going to be 160 plus 32 is going to be 192 ounces. Eight ounces in a cup, 4 cups in a quart, 4 quarts in a gallon. Use a chain to convert 7 gallons to ounces. 7 gallons. 1 gallon is 4 quarts. 1 quart is 4 cups. 1 cup is 8 ounces. So gallons go away, quarts go away, cups go away. So this is 7 times 4 times 4 times 8 ounces is 7 times 4 times 4 times 8 is 896 ounces. Convert a distance of 14 miles into yards. There are 1,760 yards in a mile. 14 miles times 1 mile, 1,760 yards. Multiply 14 times 1,760 is 24,640. Right? Car is driving at 240 miles per hour. What is its speed in miles per minute? So 240 miles per hour. Don't write MTH there. Write miles per hour. You want to keep the miles. You want to change the hours to minutes. So 1 hour is going to be 60 minutes. Miles will cancel. 60 goes into 240 4 times. So this is going to be, oops, I canceled the wrong thing. Be careful. Miles do not cancel with minutes. They're not the same thing. Miles minutes. The hours cancel here. The 60 does cancel with the 240, though. That leaves me with 4 miles per minute. And you better not ever be driving 240 miles an hour in your car. Just saying. You better be out in the salt flats, the rocket attached to the back of your car if you're driving 240 miles an hour. That's 4 miles a minute. A mile a minute is going to be 60 miles an hour. All right. Convert a lot. A lot is a piece of land the size of 1/6 of an acre to square feet. And they tell us again that an acre is 43,560 square feet. Again, I'm lining it up so that the acres cancel. Does 6 go into 43,560? Probably. 43,560 divided by 6 is going to give us 7,260 square feet. Use a chain of conversions with familiar measures to convert 8 weeks into seconds. So 8 weeks times 7 days in 1 week times 24 hours in 1 day times 60 minutes in 1 hour times 60 seconds in 1 minute. I stopped because I got to seconds, right? So this is going to be 8 times 7 times 24 times 60 times 60 seconds. So 8 times 7 times 24 times 60 times 60 is a really big number. It's a 3. These are seconds. Sorry, I didn't mean to scroll. That is 4,838,400 seconds. Okay, so find a conversion factor between square feet and square yards. I already did this earlier. It says write it in 3 forms. So 1 square yard. Sorry, this is square feet in square yards. So that's going to be 3 feet by 3 feet. Is, let me back this up and say that this is 1 yard by 1 yard. Is 3 feet by 3 feet is 9 square feet. So I think they wanted this 1, 2, 3 different ways. I think that's what it's saying when it asks you for 3 different ways to write it. Let me just check. 1 square yard is 3 feet squared is 9 feet squared. So yeah, this is 1, 2, 3 things that they want. I'll be right back. how many square inches are in 8 square yards? So 8 square yards times, there are 36 inches per yard, but I need to square that. So that's going to be, square yards will cancel and leave me with square inches. So it's going to be 8 times 36 squared square inches. It's going to be 8 times 36 squared. I didn't write my answer down for that one. Okay. Field is 120 yards long, 90 yards wide. What's its area in square feet? So 120 yards by 90 yards. We're going to convert each yard to feet. These 2 yards cancel out with these 2 yards, and we get whatever 120 times 90 times 3 times 3 square feet is. 120 times 90 times 3 times 3 is going to be okay. Find a conversion factor between cubic inches and cubic yards. Write it in 3 forms. So cubic inches. I'm just going to start with the bigger one. I'm going to say 1 cubic yard is going to be, now a yard is 36 inches. Cubed. And so that's going to be 36 to the 3rd power is going to be so a cubic yard. 1 yard is 36 inches. So I'm going to cube that. I'm going to replace the 1 yard with 36 inches. Then I'm going to do the cubing. And I'm going to say that this is 1 square yard. So if I can write this small enough, 1 square yard is equal to 3 feet squared equals 9 square feet. This one is going to be 1 cubic yard is equal to 36 inches cubed is equal to 46,656 cubic inches. All right, there are 1,000 kilometers and or 1,000 meters in a kilometer. Find a conversion factor between cubic meters and cubic kilometers. So I'm going to say that the cubic kilometer is going to be bigger. 1 kilometer cubed is going to be, and then there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer, so it's going to be 1,000 meters cubed. And so 1,000 is, this is 10 to the third be 10 to the 9th, which is going to be, if you need that, I'm going to write it as 10 to the 9th, but that is 1 billion cubic meters. 1 times 10 to the 9th cubic meters is how I'm going to write that. How many cubic inches are in 17 cubic feet? A foot is 12 inches. 1 foot, 12 inches. You need to cube this, equal to 17 times 12 to the 3rd cubic inches. It's going to be how many cubic furlongs are in a cubic mile? So 1 cubic mile is equal to, and then a mile gets replaced with 8 furlongs cubed. So that's going to be 8 cubed cubic furlongs. So that's going to be 8 to the 3rd. It's going to be 512 cubic furlongs. Not familiar with the abbreviation for furlongs, so I'm just going to write out furlongs. So supermarkets in Japan sell soy milk for 379 yen per liter. Yen per liter. If there are 83.23 yen per dollar, 83.23 yen per 1 US dollar. I'm just going to use USD there. Then what is the price in dollars per quart? Okay, but wait, we were in liters, so we need to find a conversion factor from liters to quarts. So let's look in chapter 2, see if it gives us any such conversion factor. I do not believe that we found it already in this section. It's on page 93 in your book. And it says 1 liter is 1.057 quarts. Okay. So this is on page 93 of your textbook. So yen cancels, liters cancel, and I'm going to be left with 379 divided by, and both in the denominator, 83.23 and 1.057. is going to be, now we're going to be rounding this to probably the nearest cent, I would assume. So this is approximately dollars and cents wise, $4.31 per quart. Piece of land in Ottawa with an area of half of a square kilometer is priced at 5,500 Canadian dollars. So I'll call this CAD. I'll call the US dollars USD because we use the dollar sign for both of them. When I use the conversion factor here, it'll be CAD and USD. So we've got 0.5 square kilometers is, sorry, that's in the denominator because it wants the area in the denominator. Half of a square kilometer is down here, and it wants the 5,500 CAD here, Canadian dollars, and there's 0.9976 Canadian dollars to every one US dollar. And then we need to change square kilometers to square miles. So six 0.93 square. All right. $18 cancel. Square kilometers cancel. This is going to give us 5,500 times 1.6093 squared divided by parentheses 0.5 times 0.9976. Everything, it's best if everything in the numerator is in parentheses and everything in the denominator is in parentheses, but the parentheses around the numerator are less important here than the parentheses around the denominator. So we get, again, it's going to be dollars per square mile. So this is going to be we probably wouldn't want to do dollars and cents because they did whole numbers of dollars here. So we're probably going to approximate this to be roughly 28,557 US dollars per square mile. All right. Recently, the US dollar was worth about 6,158 10,000ths of a British pound. How much would a car have cost in US dollars that cost 10,000? 10 British pounds. British pounds thing looks like a fancy L. If I remember right, I think it's like this for British pound times then 0.5 6158 pounds is $1 US. So let's cancel out our pounds and say 10,610 divided by 0.6158. 6158. There we go. Sometimes my calculator eats my inputs since it's an emulator. I'm just going to make this dollars. Round to the nearest dollar. Here's what I'm going to do. Your teacher may have different answers here. Let me just check and see. 27. She went to the nearest cent. But I think it's fair that you're probably going to have a sale price for a car in whole dollars. You're probably not going to sell it to the nearest cent, right? Except for taxes. Maybe the list price is going to be in whole dollars. So they'd round it up like that. So recently, $1 US was worth about 12 7/73 Mexican pesos. How much? 235 US dollars be worth in Mexican pesos. So $1 US, 12.73 pesos. Dollars are going to cancel. I'm going to be left with and not sure that you have fractions of a peso. So let me just make sure. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Don't use a dollar sign for that though, because they're not dollars. That would confuse somebody. So a community gardener contains 20 rectangular plots, each measuring 4 yards by 10 yards. What is the total available area for gardening? Well, that is going to be 20 times 4 times 10 is going to be 800 square yards. Stockbroker sold 45 shares of stock for $35.16 each. What is the total amount of the sale? 45 times $35.16 each is that he sold it for $1,582.20. Suppose you could spend $7 every hour, night and day. How much could you spend in a year, assuming there's 365 days in a year? So $7 per hour times 24 hours per day times 365 days per year. Days are going to go away, hours are going to go away, and I have 7 times 24 times 365. going to give me 61,320 per year. Buying carpet to cover a room which measures 12 feet by 17 feet. Carpet costs $27.50 per square yard. I don't have square yards, I have square feet. So we have 1 square yard is going to be, and we already did this earlier, 9 square feet. Did that one up where did we do that one? Way up here. Probably early on. We did it right here, where a square yard is 3 feet squared is 9 square feet. We did that one. All right, so square yards go away. Square feet are going to go away. And I'm going to have 12 times 17 times 2750 divided by 9. Can be, since this is in dollars, in cents. There we go. Got just a couple more here. Assuming that your heart beats at 70 beats per minute. How many times does your heart beat in 6 days? So there's going to be 60 minutes in 1 hour. It's going to be 24 hours in 1 day. And we want 6 days. So we're going to multiply that by the 6 days. What we have. So minutes cancel with minutes, hours with hours, days with days. I should be left with beats because it says how many times does your heart beat in 6 days. So I'm going to have 70 times 60 times 24 times 6 is going to be beats. 604,800 beats in 6 days. Assume that you breathe once every 10 seconds. How many breaths do you take in 3 weeks? So 1 breath every 10 seconds times there's 60 seconds in 1 minute times 60 minutes in 1 hour times 24 hours in 1 day times 7 days in 1 week times 3 weeks over here. weeks cancel with weeks, days with days, hours with hours, minutes with minutes, seconds with seconds. I have 10 goes into 66 times. So I'm going to have 6 times 60 times 24 times 7 times 3 breaths. So that's going to be 6 times 60 times 24 times 7 times 3. It's going to give me 181,440 breaths, or we'd call that respirations. Okay, so, all right, that was everything for 2A. Go ahead and practice 2B. For 2B, you're going to need a lot of the conversion charts that are in your textbook, section 2B. So go ahead and get those printed out. I'm going to look before we start that one and see if there are any tables for you to print out in your book that have those conversion factors for you. And if so, I will reference that at the beginning of the assessment preparation for 2B. All right, see you next time.